Don't miss your chance to catch this brand new shiny Pokemon. Hello everyone, how are we? Today we are back with another Pokemon Go update. If you're new to the channel, welcome, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss a video. It is officially the middle of fall, and that means it is almost time for Halloween. Typically, these are the best events that come to Pokemon Go. Although we don't have the full details for part 2 of the Halloween event yet, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be really exciting, as I have some speculations toward the end of the video. But without further ado, let's talk about the Pokemon Go Halloween 2023 Part 1 event and my best tips and tricks for it. Alright, so the official date that is happening for this Part 1 event is on Thursday, October 19th at 10 a.m. through Thursday, October 26th at 10 a.m. So thankfully, we'll be getting a full week of this event. And it looks like we'll be starting the event off pretty strong with some new debuts that will be coming in the form of Greavard and Houndstone. And unfortunately, these Pokemon will not be debuting as shiny because their shinies are pretty good, but we'll still get those as new entries for the Paldea Index. Houndstone is a pure ghost type, and its CP will cap around 2,842. Although it doesn't look that great for PvP, it might have some play in the Great League, so maybe look out for that. But in no way is it going to be a great ghost type raid attacker either way. So of course for the Halloween event, we're going to have some spookiest Pokemon, so let's start off with some wild encounters. For the wild encounters, we'll be seeing Ekans, Zubat, Alolan Meowth, Ghastly, Haunter, Spinarak, Mischievous, Poochyena, Shuppet, Drifloon, Litwick, Phantump, and the rare encounter of Sandygast. So let's get right into my Pokemon to look out for these wild encounters. Coming up first will be Alolan Meowth. Now, although of course Alolan Meowth and Alolan Persian don't have that much use in the leagues, Alolan Meowth is a boosted Stardust Pokemon. So Alolan Meowth, and with each catch of one, you'll get 750 boosted Stardust. So if you see Alolan Meowth on the map, and besides shiny checking it, you might as well go ahead and catch it to get that extra Stardust. Now we'll also be seeing Ghastly and Haunter in the wild. Now first of all, these are just great shinies to begin with, minus Gengar, unfortunately. But Gengar does have a really good play in the Ultra League. He is currently ranked 88th, and besides Gengar being a great Pokemon to begin with, it of course is also great in raids, as Mega Gengar is the #1 Ghost-type PvE raid attacker in the game. So I would go ahead and scoop up all the Ghastly and Haunter you can to go ahead and get those extra candies for Gengar and your Mega Gengar. Another Pokemon to look out for is Mischievous, as Shadow Mischievous is in the top 15 of the PvE Ghost-type attackers in the game. So besides having a good shiny, you might as well go ahead and try to scoop one up. On the topic of PvE Ghost-type raid attackers, we'll be seeing Shuppet, as Shadow Bandit is in the top 10 of Ghost-type raid attackers in the game. I'm going to go ahead and say, look out for Drifloon, as Shiny Drifloon is one of my favorites in the game, and Shadow Drifblim has some play in the Ultra League. Another great Pokemon to look out for is Litwick, as Chandelure not only has such an amazing shiny, Chandelure is one of the best PvE raid attackers for Ghost types and for Fire types that are non-Mega and non-Legendary. And last but not least, of course, for my Pokemon to look out for is the new shiny debut of Phantump. Not only is this shiny absolutely amazing with the white and the red, shiny Trevenant looks great as well, but Trevenant is really good and ranks 57th in the Ultra League. So definitely want to scoop up a good one, and this is the biggest hunt of the event, is that new shiny. And on the topic of PvP, let's switch it up for raids. So in 1-star raids, we'll be seeing Mischievous, Shuppet, and Drifloon. And of course, all three of these are going to go for previously mentioned reasons and their uses in PvP. However, I wouldn't really recommend wasting your raid passes on them, as you can catch all of these in the wild, so you might want to save your raid passes for something else. The 3-star raids will be seeing Gengar, Sandygast, and Greavard. So out of these, of course, Greavard and Sandygast will be in the wild. So for the same reason as the 1-star raids, I'd go ahead and save your raid passes on them. But Gengar, if you want to try to get a better one because you're guaranteed in the raids at least a 2-star, then I would go ahead and try for a Gengar if you have the extra passes to spare. 5-star raids will be seeing Guzzlord until October 20th at 10 a.m. and then it'll switch over to Darkrai. So Guzzlord is amazing PvP and is currently ranked 26th in the Great League, 24th in the Ultra League, and 93rd in the Master League. So Guzzlord's just a great Pokemon to go ahead and get. Of course, it does have the new shiny, and this will be the last chance to get it for a while. Now when the raids switch over to Darkrai after October 20th, Darkrai is also a really good Dark-type PvE raid attacker in the game. He also has some play in the Master League and is currently ranked 90th, and he has an amazing shiny. I mean, just look at it. Lastly, in terms of raids, we have the Mega Raid. So we'll be seeing Mega Gengar until October 20th at 10 a.m. and then it'll switch over to Mega Banette. So Mega Gengar, as I mentioned, is the #1 PvE Ghost raid type attacker in the game. So if you don't already have a good one, now's your chance to get one of the best ones you can. And then of course, when it switches over to Mega Banette is the second best Ghost type raid attacker in the game. So if you don't want to always use a Gengar, you can also have that option of using that Mega Banette. Now let's talk about some bonuses that we're going to have for the event. So this event will be having 2x candy for hatching Pokemon, additional candy for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, great, and excellent throws, additional candy XL for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, great, and excellent throws, and trainers level 31 and above will receive additional candy XL for hatching eggs. So a lot of this is based on throws, but also on hatching those eggs. So this can mean extra candy and Candy XL for important wild encounters like Ghastly, Haunter, Litwick, and Phantump. Pokemon that you want those extra candies and want those extra Candy XL for, looking at you, Gengar. You're going to want to catch some Haunters and some Ghastlies to really build up those candies. Not to mention the 2x candy for hatching Pokemon can also be a benefit because we're going to have some different Pokemon in the 7-kilometer eggs. So in these 7-kilometer eggs, we'll be seeing Munchlax, Riolu, and Galarian Yamask. So Snorlax is great in PvP and ranks best as a Shadow Snorlax in the Master League at number 32 with that Shadow Snorlax. Great to get those extra XL candies for. Lucario, besides being my favorite Pokemon, of course, having amazing shiny, is also pretty good in PvP, has some uses in some leagues, but more importantly, it does have a future Mega. So when that Mega comes out, you're going to want to have a bunch of candies and Candy XLs for because it'll probably be one of the best fighting / steel type attackers in the game. Last but not least, of course, Galarian Yamask does not evolve into Cofagrigus, it evolves into Runerigus, which is currently ranked number 72 in the Great League, so also not a bad Pokemon to get those extra XL candies for. Also a tip in terms of eggs, if you want some of these eggs, like to hatch more Riolu, Munchlax, or Galarian Yamask, for example, you're going to want to clear out your egg storage now. So if you have any 7-kilometer eggs in your egg storage right now, those will not hatch these Pokemon. You're going to want to gather new eggs from friends when the event starts on that Thursday, October 19th. Alright, so let's get into some research. Now, there's going to be a bunch of research for this event, and unfortunately, a bunch of it will be timed research. So we're going to have that ticket of treats, which is still available in the shop for $5 US, and now we'll give additional encounters with Phantump and 2 incubators. So of course, every Thursday it gives new research, and this will be Phantump and 2 incubators. Is it worth it? I guess it's kind of up to you to say that. A lot of people think it's a scam. I could see it go either way. Now, for a new paid time research, again, paid time research means that the research will expire at some point. So for $5 US, you can access event-exclusive timed research, which will grant you encounters with ghost Pokemon like Phantump and dark-type Pokemon like Alolan Meowth. Also, you get a new Halloween-themed avatar pose that makes you kind of walk like a zombie, I guess. You're like... Yeah, so if you want that, check it out. I guess the avatar pose would probably be $5 by itself, so is it worth it to get the pose plus new encounters? It might be. If you want the pose, I'd go ahead and get it because then you just get bonus encounters. However, again, I said it is paid timed research, which means that it will expire. And if you don't complete it by Tuesday, October 31st at 8 p.m., it will be gone. Now, for regular free timed research, starting on Thursday, October 19th, with part 1 of the event, we'll be seeing timed research that focus on Greavard. And every time you complete those tasks, you will get encounters with the Greavard, which of course can't be shiny, but might as well chase the hundo now. Also, starting on that Thursday, October 19th, we will see another timed research that will be focused around Spiritomb, which at one point was the rarest shiny in the game. It is still up there. There used to be a couple years back. It used to be just in field research that you could actually grind for that shiny Spiritomb. However, now it is usually just in timed research, so it still makes it a really rare shiny to chase for if you don't have it already. Alright, last but not least, for research, we will be seeing some field research, the ones that you can spin from Pokestops. Tasks will give various rewards like Pokeballs and encounters with Mischievous and Phantump, which is that new shiny. So I think if you want a Shundo, this is probably the best ways to chase that Shundo of that Phantump. Talk about some avatar items. Of course, with Halloween, you're going to expect a lot of avatar items. So we have new avatar items that include the Yamask mask, Cofagrigus costume, Cofagrigus head, which is really creepy, by the way, Phantump head, and a Greavard wig. And the Greavard wig is kind of cute, but also kind of gives George Washington vibes. So take that as you will. However, I guess the good thing about the Greavard wig, while we're on the topic of it, is that if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can actually get this research early, and of course for free, and you can go ahead and start that research now to go towards that wig. I think it does expire, I think it said sometime in like December, so you have a while to do it. I wouldn't sweat on it too much. With every event, there will be some new stickers that are Halloween themed that you can send to friends. Kind of cute, matches the Halloween vibes. There will also be various event bundles that you can find on the Pokemon Go web store. I didn't really want to touch on all of those because there's just a bunch of bundles, but if you're interested in those, you know, for X amount of coins, you can get so many items. Just go check it out if you're interested. All right, next up, of course, with all these events now, we'll be seeing Pokestop Showcases. Now, these showcases this time around will be featuring Shuppet, Bannet, and the new Greavard. Of course, all of these are extra large. I don't know when or why we haven't got extra small yet. Maybe they're saving it for a special occasion. I don't know, but they're pretty much all extra large. So just get your extra large ones, keep them, put them in the showcases, and you're good to go. In terms of the best way to win these showcases, there are entering in rural areas, which I live in anyway, so I kind of get a big ego when I just win them all the time. Or to showcase snipe. So to showcase snipe, you enter your best Pokemon at the last minute right before the showcase ends, and this will give others less time to take your place. So that's a great way and a little bit of a cheeky way to try to win and get those showcase rewards. Now, this is one of the smaller things in Pokemon Go that I'm going to be talking about, but I think it really makes the game and it truly helps with boosting the event, in my opinion. So this is the map aesthetic. As with other years, I think that it's pretty much well determined that the Halloween events are the best in Pokemon Go, and it's probably for this reason. The map map aesthetics. Pokemon Go map will be decorated with a Halloween theme that includes Pokestops and gyms. They usually give the map a creepy look, maybe some fall leaves, some pumpkins. They usually turn the Pokestops like orange, but I love it. It's something little in the game that I feel like that they should do more often, but it really helps with boosting that event. Lastly, there'll also be a remix of the famous and spooky Lavender Town music that plays throughout the game. Absolutely love the Lavender Town music. I think it's one of the most recognizable and best Pokemon soundtracks that have ever been created. And although most people probably listen to it on day one and turn it off, it's still something nice to have and a little bit creepy for the game. All right, and that looks like it for part 1 of the Halloween event. However, as I mentioned, that is just part 1. We will have part 2 coming out, and we don't know what that entails yet, but here are some of my predictions for part 2. Shadow Lugia. All right, so we went over some leaks a couple videos back, focusing on leaks for October and November in Pokemon Go, and one of these was Shadow Lugia, and I still think that this is highly going to come true. So Shadow Lugia was predicted in the leaks and even briefly leaked in a Halloween short featuring Lugia's cry at the end. I'll go ahead and play that now. Shadow Lugia was also briefly leaked in a photo released about Party Play that shows a shadow raid and what looks like a Shadow Lugia. So it's a group of people looking up at this raid, and as you can see, you can almost see like Lugia's little feet at the bottom. I guess it's best to describe it. And so I really think that this is leaning towards Shadow Lugia, towards Halloween Part 2. In addition to that, we could see the debut of Shiny Zorua. It was also leaked coming out at the end of October for the Halloween event, and what better shiny than Shiny Zorua and Zoroark for Halloween? It is not only the trickster Pokemon, but it also has a great, amazing shiny. And it's also, I feel like, going to be a pretty hard shiny to chase, considering it's kind of like a Ditto, so we'll see how that works out. And as it was just announced today being October 16th, that they're pushing out the Party Play features. Of course, there are already a bunch of bugs with them. They haven't even really fixed routes too much yet. It's Niantic, what do you expect? But they're going to push out more Party Play features, and that'll be pretty exciting. Hopefully they get it all nailed out for the Halloween Part 2 event, because I think it'd be pretty cool to party up with your friends and go fight that Shadow Lugia. Besides some speculations for Halloween Part 2, let's talk about some key things to remember for Part 1. First of all, that Shiny Phantom. This will be the new shiny debuting in the game, as it was predicted in the same leaks that predict the Shiny Zorua and Shadow Lugia, by the way. But it'll be the biggest hunt of this event, so go ahead and try to get yourself one. Also, don't forget that there will be extra candy and Candy XL for hatching and catching Pokemon. So make sure you're catching those Pokemon like Ghastly, Haunter, Litwick, and maybe the Phantom for those extra candies and Candy XLs, because, you know, having a really strong maxed out Mega Gengar is going to be really good for you in the game. Of course, keep your eye out for those meta-relevant Pokemon, and even not so meta-relevant Pokemon like Alolan Meowth, who gives you boosted Stardust. But the number one tip I have is, above all else, have fun and enjoy this holiday event. It's one of the best that we'll see all year. And that looks like it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We actually hit 1,000 subscribers, so I really can't thank you guys enough. As I mentioned before, if you're new here, welcome, and please make sure to subscribe. It really boosts the channel, and we're now going to be on the road, I guess, to 2,000 subs, so thank you guys so much. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking for this event, whether it's more meta-relevant Pokemon, want to be hunting that Shiny Phantom, of course, or maybe something else. And what your predictions are for Part 2 of the Halloween event. Do you think we're spot on with Shadow Lugia, Shiny Zorua, or do you think that there might be something else in store for us as well? But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.